Greetings and welcome. Today we'll see the topic gamma function. First we'll define the gamma function. Gamma n is defined as integration from 0 to infinity e raised to minus x into x raised to n minus 1. This is the symbol to denote the gamma function. Dx. This is definition of gamma function, that gamma n equal to integration from 0 to infinity e raised to minus x into x raised to n minus 1 dx. Then we'll define some properties of gamma function. First one, gamma 1 equal to 1, first property of gamma function. Second one is gamma 0 equal to infinity. Third property is gamma 1 by 2 equal to root pi. Fourth one is gamma n plus 1 equal to n gamma n, and we can generalize this as this is equal to n factorial if n is positive integer. If n is positive integer. And this is equal to n gamma n otherwise that means if it is in fraction or if it is negative, we can use n gamma n. We'll derive the different forms of gamma function. Now suppose if you have integration from 0 to infinity e raised to minus ky into y raised to n minus 1 dy. If you want to evaluate this integral, then for this we'll try to convert this integral in this form. So if I use the substitution, say ky is equal to x, this will implies y is equal to x upon k. Therefore dy is equal to dx upon k. Substitute these values in the above equation. You will get integral I equal to 0 to infinity e raised to ky is x, so it is e raised to minus x into y is x upon k, bracket raised to n minus 1 into dy, value of dy is dx upon k. Actually, whenever we are using substitution, we have to check the limits of integration. If you observe this, limits of y are from 0 to infinity. If I'll put y is equal to 0 here, you will get x equal to 0. If I'll put y equal to infinity, x equal to infinity. That means there is no change in the limits of the integration. We'll take constant outside. This k raised to n minus 1 into k, that is 1 upon k raised to n. What is remaining? 0 to infinity e raised to minus x into x raised to n minus 1 dx. Now if you observe this is nothing but definition of gamma function. So we have this is equal to gamma n upon k raised to n. We'll remember the result. This will help you while solving the MCQs, that is 0 to infinity e raised to minus ky into y raised to n minus 1 dy equal to gamma n upon k raised to n. I think I am clear to all of you. We'll take one more example, or say if they will ask you find value of gamma 7 by 2. If the question is find value of gamma 7 by 2, this 7 by 2 can be written as gamma of 5 by 2 plus 1, and then we use this property that gamma n plus 1 is equal to n gamma n. Therefore value of this is 5 by 2 into gamma 5 by 2. So this can be simplified as 5 by 2. I can write down this gamma 5 by 2 as 3 by 2 plus 1. Again use the same property. You will get 5 by 2 into 3 by 2 into gamma 3 by 2. We can write down this gamma 3 by 2 as 5 by 2 into 3 by 2 into gamma of 3 by 2 can be written as 1 by 2 plus 1. That is equal to 5 by 2 into 3 by 2 into 1 by 2 gamma half, and from the properties of gamma function we know that gamma half is equal to root pi. If I substitute the value, gamma half is root pi, 5 into 3 15 upon 8. So this is value of gamma 7 by 2. That means if it is in fraction, we'll find values like this. And suppose if you have gamma 7, I can write down 7 as 6 plus 1, which is what? Positive integer. Therefore, by using this result, gamma n plus 1 is equal to n factorial. So this is equal to 6 factorial. We'll get the value of the gamma function. Now we'll take few example based on this gamma function. Okay, say if I want to evaluate integration from 0 to infinity dx upon 3 raised to 4x square. If you see the definition, I will write down definition of gamma function for your reference. It is gamma n is equal to 0 to infinity e raised to minus x into x raised to n minus 1 dx. That means we want some exponential function here. So if I use the substitution, 3 raised to 4x square equal to e raised to t. So that this will be 1 upon e raised to t, and 1 upon e raised to t is nothing but e raised to minus t. Take log on both sides. If you will take log on both sides, you will get 4x square into log x is equal to log of e raised to t. Use rules of logarithm. You will get 4x square into log 3 equal to t, that is x square equal to t upon 4 log 3. We want value of x, so x is equal to root t upon 4, under root of 4 is 2, 2 into log 3, 2 into under root of log 3. Therefore, if I will find value of dx, dx is equal to derivative of root t is 1 upon 2 root t into dt. This 1 upon 2 root of log 3 as it is into dt. Now you have to check the limits. This is your substitution. Whenever we are using substitution, we have to check the limits. X varies from 0 to infinity. Limits of x are from 0 to infinity. If I will put x is equal to 0 here, 0 into anything, 0. So t equal to 0. If I will put x is equal to infinity in any one of this equation, you will get value of t, and t is equal to infinity. So there is no change in the limits. We will get integration from 0 to infinity. What is value of dx? dx is equal to 1 upon 2 root t into 2 root of log 3 dt. This is value of dx. 1 upon 3 raised to 4x square, but 3 raised to 4x square is e raised to t. 1 upon e raised to t is e raised to minus t. So we can take constant outside, that is 1 upon 4 into root of log 3, that is constant, take it outside. Integration from 0 to infinity e raised to minus t into t raised to minus half dt. Compare this with definition of gamma function, and we will get n minus 1 is equal to minus half, that is n is equal to half. Therefore, value of this integral is nothing but gamma half upon 4 into root of log 3. Value of gamma half is root pi. So, you will get root pi upon 4 into root of log 3. This is the answer for this integral, integration from 0 to infinity 1 upon 3 raised to 4x square. Next one, integration from 0 to infinity x raised to a upon a raised to x dx. Now instead of a, there will be some number 2, 3, 4, anything. No change in the example. We will derive the standard one. Again, we don't have any problem with this x raised to a because we have x raised to something in the definition. we want exponential. Use the substitution a raised to x is equal to e raised to t. Take log on both sides, that is log of a raised to x is equal to log of e raised to t. Use rules of logarithm. It is x into log a equal to t into log e, but value of log e is 1. So you will get x is equal to t upon log a. Dx is equal to dt upon log a. Whenever we are using substitution, we have to check the limits. Limits for x are from 0 to infinity. Put these values here. If I'll put x is equal to 0, 0 into anything will be 0. If I'll put x is equal to infinity, infinity into anything is infinity. So t equal to infinity. There is no change in the limits of integration. You will get I equal to integration from 0 to infinity. Value of x is t upon log a, bracket raised to a, into 1 upon a raised to x. Value of a raised to x is e raised to t. So it is 1 upon e raised to t into dx. Value of dx is dt upon log a. Now we will take constant term outside. This is log a raised to a into log a. By using rules of logarithm, it is log a bracket raised to a plus 1. Integration from 0 to infinity. E raised to minus t into t raised to a dt. Compare this with definition of gamma function. We will observe that n minus 1 is equal to a. Therefore, n is equal to a plus 1. That means value of this integral is gamma of a plus 1. So, your final answer will be gamma of a plus 1 upon log a bracket raised to a plus 1. Now, in this case, I have considered a raised to x. But instead of a, there will be some numbers, that is x square upon 2 raised to x, x cube upon 3 raised to x, anything. So instead of a, there will be some number. We are able to solve the system. Now we will take one more example. Consider the example, integration from 0 to infinity e raised to minus root y into root y dy. We don't want root y, we want e raised to something x. So if I use the substitution, say root y is equal to x. This will imply y is equal to x square. Take squaring on both sides. Dy is equal to 2x dx. Whenever we are using substitution, we have to check its limits. Limits for y are 0 to infinity. So put these values here. If I'll put y is equal to 0, again we will get x is equal to 0. If I'll put y is equal to infinity, x is equal to infinity. You will get I equal to integration from 0 to infinity e raised to root y. Root y is x. So it is e raised to minus x into root y. Root y is x dy. Value of dy is 2x dx. Take constant term outside. You will get I equal to 2 is constant. Take it outside. Integration from 0 to infinity e raised to minus x into x square dx. Again compare this with definition. If we compare this with definition, we are getting n minus 1 is equal to 2. Therefore, n is equal to 3. That means value of this integral is gamma 3. Value of this integral is gamma 3. 3 is positive integer. So, if I use gamma n plus 1 is equal to n factorial, this 3 can be written as 2 plus 1. So value of this gamma 2 plus 1, by using this identity, it is 2 factorial. So it is 2 into 2 factorial. 2 factorial is 2. So your answer will be 4. Next one. Integration from 0 to infinity e raised to minus x cube into root x dx. Only you have to transfer to the standard form of the definition of gamma function. So what is the substitution? X cube is equal to t. That implies x is equal to t raised to 1 by 3. Take cube root on both sides. Then dx is equal to 1 by 3 into t raised to 1 by 3 minus 1, that is minus 2 by 3 dt. Whenever we are using substitution, we have to check the limits. Limits for x are 0 to infinity. Put here. Anywhere you can put either this or this. If I'll put x is equal to 0, t equal to 0. X equal to infinity, t is equal to infinity. So there is no change in the limits of the integration. You will get integral I equal to 0 to infinity e raised to x cube is t, so it is e raised to minus t into root x. X is t raised to 1 by 3 raised to half into dx. Value of dx is 1 by 3 into t raised to minus 2 by 3 dt. Now we'll use laws of indices. 1 by 3 is constant, take it outside. 0 to infinity e raised to minus t into t raised to 1 by 3 raised to 1 by 2, that is t raised to 1 by 6 into t raised to minus 2 by 3 dt. Again use laws of indices. You will get 1 by 3 integration from 0 to infinity e raised to minus t into t raised to 1 by 6 minus 2 by 3. That will be, say, 1 by 6 minus 2 by 3. You have to take LCM. If I'll take LCM, you have to multiply this by 2. So it is 1 minus 4, that is minus 3 by 6. Minus 3 by 6 is nothing but minus 1 by 2. So it is t raised to minus half dt. Compare this with definition of gamma function. You will get n minus 1 is equal to minus half. That is n is equal to half. That means this is gamma half. 1 by 3 into gamma half. We know the value of gamma half, that gamma half is equal to root pi. So we'll get root pi upon 3. This is the answer. Okay, we'll take the next example. Say integration from 0 to 1 x log x bracket raised to 4 dx. We don't want logarithmic function. So I can use the substitution log x is equal to minus t. This implies x is equal to e raised to minus t. We'll find value of dx. Dx is equal to derivative of this, that is minus e raised to minus t dt. Whenever we are using substitution, we have to check the limits. Limits for x are from 0 to 1. 0 to 1. If I'll put x equal to 0, log 0 is infinity. And if I'll put x is equal to 1, log 1 is 0. So the limits of integration will be from infinity to 0. You'll get I equal to integration from infinity to 0. X is e raised to minus t bracket raised to 4 into log x is minus t bracket raised to 4 into dx. Dx is minus e raised to minus t dt. We can absorb this negative sign inside the limit. So due to this minus sign, we can say the limits are from 0 to infinity. We know the property of integration, that when we change the limits of integration, there will be negative sign. So I is equal to integration from 0 to infinity e raised to minus 4t into e raised to minus t, that is e raised to minus 5t into minus t bracket raised to 4 is t raised to 4 dt. Now for this we will use the additional result that we have derived here, that is integration from 0 to infinity e raised to minus ky into y raised to n minus 1 dy is equal to gamma n upon k raised to n. We will use the property gamma n upon k raised to n. So if I compare this two, you will get value of k is equal to 5 and n minus 1 is equal to 4. This implies n is equal to 5. And if you substitute these values in the equation, you will get gamma 5 upon 5 raised to 5. Gamma 5 is 4 factorial. So your final answer will be 4 factorial upon 5 raised to 5. Like this, we will solve the examples of gamma function. Thank you for watching the complete video.